Hey everybody, it is time for monthly manicures, and last month I feel like it was a little bit of a crazy month. I don't know, I feel like my polishes are all over the place. I feel like I attempted to do some fall polishes and then, you know, it's still 80-90 degrees outside here and hot and gross, and so I'm in this weird transition of where I don't want to wear summer polishes, but the few fall-esque polishes that I did wear that were really dark, I wasn't really feeling yet. So I feel like this month I was kind of like in this weird kind of transition period. So we're going to talk about some of the polishes I wore this month, and let's go ahead and get started. What polishes did I wear this month? I don't remember. Okay, so I feel like as soon as the month of September started, I got in my order of Virgo Varnishes, the polishes I picked up from her 90s collection. So, and they were really like just inspiring me and wanting me to wear fall polishes. So I started with Props on the Flat Top, which is a gorgeous orange. It's not a pumpkin. There's a little bit of, I feel like the camera is making this a little bit more orange than it actually is in person. In person, this is more, it's a weird color. It's definitely not pumpkin because it's got a little bit of a pink to it, but it does have, you know, a slight orange. So it's definitely not like a melon or a cantaloupe. It's kind of an in-between orange. It was really pretty. You'll see here from the swatch that this color was slightly darker on the nail than it was in the bottle, even though I wore this with a matte top coat, as you'll see, but the coloring was still slightly darker even before I put the matte top coat on. But I really enjoyed this color. I thought it was really pretty. So yeah, I thought it was going to be a little bit more of a different color when I purchased it, pardon me, but I still enjoyed it nonetheless. So that is Props on the Flat Top. And then I finally went and started digging into some of my Zoya. I purchased a lot of those, I purchased that whole fall collection, and I just, like I said, I haven't been in the mood to wear fall polishes, even though they're all super pretty. I don't know, it's just the weather, and I haven't really been feeling like diving totally into those fall polishes, but I did hit some of the rosier polishes up. So this is Hera. And I really enjoyed Hera. This is like a really beautiful dark rose color with just a tad bit of purple in it. Really beautiful color. I really enjoyed this. I thought this was a nice kind of, you know, work appropriate neutral shade. I thought this was really pretty. Although I do enjoy these like rosy grandma colors, but I thought this was a really nice formula, really nice color. So that is Hera. And then next up is Cirque's Vaporwave, and Vaporwave is a, I would say like I don't know the color variation on this, but it's kind of like it's kind of a blurple, but a little bit more purple than it is blue, and it's got this really pretty flash in it. Let's see if I can pick it up. It's that copper flash. That Cirque has been putting in a lot of their polishes. I featured Happy Monday last month, and this is kind of a sister polish to it. It also came out in that Kawaii collection, but yeah, this is super pretty. The copper shimmer flash in this is not as apparent on the nail as it is with Happy Monday, but I still thought this was really pretty. The color on this is really nice. So yeah, I enjoyed this color. That is Vaporwave. And then next after that, I saw this featured on Jody's polish. She had done, I don't know if she wore this last month or what exactly, but she was talking about this polish, and I was like, you know what, I want to wear that polish too, and I had kind of forgot about it. So this is KB Shimmer's Prince Charming, and this is a white Crelly with blue, it's kind of like a blurple, a teal, and pink hex glitters, and there's also some tinier like micro glitters in there also. This is really beautiful. I enjoyed this so much. Sometimes with the Crellys one of the reasons I didn't like Crellys for a while is a couple of the Crellys I had tried, even no matter how many swatch or how many coats you did, the white never got super opaque. But this one, you know, you don't see any visible nail line, and the the glitters in here really stand out. So this is a really gorgeous polish, and I would highly recommend it if you don't have this already in your collection. So again, that's Prince Charming. And then I decided to bust out one of my tried and true thermal polishes from Femme Fatale. This is the first Femme Fatale that I ever got. I saw it featured on Sloppy Swatches, and as soon as she swatched it, I was like, I have to have this. And I believe, unfortunately, the label is gone, but I believe this is called Blue Within Blue Eyes, and this is a really beautiful, again, that kind of blurple, but it's a slightly more blue than it is purple, and it's a thermal, so it transitions from a clear polish to this deep blue that you see here, and it's also got some opalescent flakies in it as well, which I hope you can see there. And I've kind of been learning about myself that I don't like opalescent glitters as much as I thought I did. So while I still love this polish and I love the transition and I love the way it looks on the nail, I think ultimately I'm not super into opalescent flaky. So I think in the future I'm probably not going to purchase any more of these. I just don't think they do much on the nail. Like if I'm gonna wear glitter, like I've said, I'm not a super glittery person, but if I'm going to wear glitter on the nail, I want it to like stand out. I want it to, you know, do something. And I just feel like unless these are in the right light, I just don't think the opalescence, they just don't do it for me. So I do love this polish. I think it's beautiful. I don't know if this is still available, unfortunately, but yeah, I think the opalescence in this blue base, I think, do stand out quite a bit, and you can see them definitely on the nail when it transitions. But yeah, I just, something about opalescent glitters, I'm just not super excited about them anymore. So that, again, is Blue Within Blue Eyes. And then I busted out another one of Zoya's fall polishes, and this is Presley. And Presley is a beautiful, beautiful nude color. I really enjoyed this. I think this has been a fan favorite so far in the collection. This is, it's a mauve, a very pale mauve. Just a beautiful color. I think it just makes your hands it's very sophisticated, very classy. I just think it just makes the nails just look really, really clean, really nice. And it just has that hint of, it's almost like a rose, but it's got a hint of purple in it. So I thought this was a really nice color. So that again is Presley. And then I had purchased another Cirque, I'm just crazy about these this copper shimmer flash that Cirque is doing in a lot of their polishes. So I had to pick up one more from the Kawaii collection, and this is called Memedom. And Memedom is a aqua teal and turquoise. I keep trying to remind myself. I want to say aqua is got more blue in it, so I'm gonna go with aqua on this, but you can totally correct me if I'm wrong, because I have a hard time remembering between the three. Well, I don't know, this has a little bit of green in it, so maybe it's teal. Let's go with teal. So this is a teal, and again, it's got that copper flash that's in there. I wish the window wouldn't hit it. Like right when the window hits it is right when the flash hits it. But yeah, it's also got that copper flash that's in there in the other couple of Cirque polishes that I've showed recently. Again, I don't think anyone's going to beat Happy Monday. I think Happy Monday is like my favorite out of these colors. But I did enjoy this. I thought this was pretty. Again, the copper flash doesn't stand out as much on the nail, but I think against this teal color, I think it made it a really nice combination of colors. So again, that's Memedom. Really pretty. I would definitely, any of these like Cirque I can't recommend Cirque polishes enough. If you haven't checked out their polishes, oh, they're so amazing. I love them so much. So again, that is Memedom. I thought I turned off my friggin' phone. Go away. Why? Okay. And then next up I did another one of the Virago varnishes that I picked up from her 90s collection. This is called Screen Name. Oh, this was such a beautiful color. This is it's an interesting red. I think they called it what did they call it? Like a mulberry shade on their website. I don't think it's mulberry though. For me, to me, Mulberry is like a little bit of a darker red, maybe with a tad bit of like berry in it. And so for me, I feel like this is definitely a lot more red. It's in between, like, I would say it kind of leans towards like a brick red, but it doesn't have enough brown in it for me to call it a brick red. So it's a really interesting color. I think what I had settled on is like a wine shade of some kind, like a Merlot. But yeah, this is a really interesting red, really nice, perfect for fall. I think this is a really beautiful shade. I might wear this again, you know, once it gets a little cooler outside, because I really enjoyed this. I just thought, again, it's just like a perfect fall shade. It just reminded me of just something about it just reminds me of like fall and putting on like a cozy sweater. Just something about this, I really enjoyed that. So that is Screen Name. And then I would say this was probably my one dud of the month. And I'm sad about it because I feel like this got hyped up a lot when this collection came out. So this is OPI's Turn on the Northern Lights. And I don't know if you're gonna be able to see it here, but this is a very inky purple. And it's got this really beautiful shimmer. It's like a purpley pink shimmer that goes through this. And it's so beautiful, but sadly it just doesn't, you don't see that shimmer flash that's in here unless you're in direct sunlight. And to me that just, some people might enjoy that. Some people I know love the, like, you know, the two different polish on the nails, like when it's in sunlight, when it's not in sunlight. I don't really care for that too much. So for me, this is so dark that, ooh, there you go. This is so dark that it looks almost black in almost every single light unless you're in direct sunlight, and you can't see that beautiful flash that's in there. So for me, I found this kind of a dud. I wanted to love this more, and I'm surprised no one else has said anything about that. But again, some people enjoy that kind of, you know, bang two polishes in one type thing, and I didn't care for it. I really wanted to like this, but a little sad. And it could also be too, like I said, I'm not really into fall polishes at the moment, so I might bust this out one more time, maybe when it gets a little cooler out. And this, and I usually don't wear super dark shades like this till about winter time, so maybe I might try this again come winter time and see if I'm still kind of meh about it. But I wasn't feeling this polish. So again, that's Turn on the Northern Lights. And then, so when I initially wore the Virago Props on the Flat Top, what I wanted to wear was kind of this like warm rosy pink. And so I thought that's what I was gonna get with that Virgo varnish. And when I put it on the nail, I realized, and like you saw from the swatch, it's more of an orange with just like a slight bit of pink, but it's definitely more orange than it is pink. So the color on it was a little different, more different than I, was a little bit different than I had anticipated. So I still was wanting that kind of like rosy, warm pink color. I'm still craving that color on the nail. So I busted this one out, and this is kind of a tried and true that I absolutely adore. This is Pacifica, and the color on this is Desert Princess. And this is such a gorgeous shade. So this is exactly the color that I had wanted to wear. And there's nothing wrong with the Virgo varnish. I think it's a beautiful color. It's just, you know when you're like really craving to wear a particular color, and then you put a different nail polish on and you're like, oh, this isn't quite the color that I had wanted to wear, but it's still pretty. But this is ultimately the color that I had been wanting to wear, and this is such a pretty shade. So again, it's that warm rosy pink. Oh gosh, it's so beautiful. And for some reason this feels a little fall to me. I don't know why. I think this was a good transition shade. Still feels a little bit summery, but it's got, since it's like a warmer pink, it's got like a little bit of maybe like an orange feel to it. So it definitely, I felt like it was leaning more towards fall. So I felt like this was a good in-between shade, and I really love this. And this is a great formula. I don't have very many Pacifica polishes. I think this is one of two that I have in my collection. So yeah, I really enjoyed this beautiful formula. So that is Desert Princess. And then this polish, this is a weird polish for me. So this came out, this is from Zoya. It came out probably like 2 or 3 years ago in a fall collection, I want to say, and it's called Aggie. And Aggie is, it's really pretty. It's like this bronzy gold. It's like a dirty tarnished gold because it's got a little bit of like a brown in it. But it almost has like a duochrome effect. So I don't know if you can tell in the camera, but on the sides of the bottle, it has this almost like greenish tinge to it. And it's really pretty. When I initially wore this a couple years ago, I think I've worn it maybe once or twice since I've gotten it. And if you just wear this bare nail, like straight to your nail, this isn't the same. You don't get this color that's in the bottle. It ends up being like a more of a, like a gold and not this like tarnished brown gold that's in here. And so I love this color that's in the bottle, and I just never wear this color because, like I said, the color that shows up on the nail is not this color. So I wanted to try and see if I could make this color show up. And so what I did is I wore this polish over, I think, a coat of Zoya Louise, which is like a milk chocolate color. And I ended up wearing it matte, which you'll see here in the swatch, but it still ended up being this exact color, and this is so beautiful. It's just, like I said, it's like a tarnished gold color, and it's so beautiful. So I was really happy that I was able to get you know, the color that's in the bottle here, because initially I felt like this color was kind of a dud. I don't know if I loved it as much matte, but I thought it was an interesting, you know, I've been trying to wear more matte polishes. I feel like I don't wear matte very often, so every now and again I'm trying to throw some matte nails in there. So I did enjoy this matte, and again, like I said, I'm really happy I was able to find a way to wear this. So again, that is Zoya's Aggie. And then this is an interesting color. I don't remember when I feel like I picked this up randomly at like Ulta one day, and this is China Glaze, and the color is called Your Touch. And the color in the bottle is starting to transition. I don't know if you can see, but like it's got this like white tinge to it. So, but this is an interesting color. I don't know anything about it. I don't know if it came out, if it's part of the permanent collection. I don't know if it came out in a particular like collection. But this is a really interesting color. So it's kind of like a terracotta, but it's like a reddish, what did I call it? I think I called it like a burnt sienna color. It's got a little bit of an orange tinge to it, and it kind of reminds me of like a little bit of a brick red, but it's definitely got a little bit of orange in it. But this is an interesting color, and I don't hear anyone ever talk about it. But I really enjoy this during the fall time. I just think it's a really interesting color, and like I said, I don't really have anything like this in my collection, and I don't think anyone really talks about it that often. So again, that is Your Touch by China Glaze. And then this is one of my favorite polishes. You would have seen this featured in one of my favorite Zoyas, and I think I wore this on my nails in my last video that came out. This is Zoya Ski. And Zoya Ski is an oil slick polish. It's really pretty. So it's a like a blackened purple, and as you can see, hopefully you can see here on the sides of the bottle, this transitions from like a blue, it's got a duochrome, like blue to a green. It's really beautiful. Oh, I love the way this transitions. I think the blue and the green and the purple just suit each other really well. And it shows up like this on the nail. I think this is a really interesting shade. I really enjoy wearing this. So hopefully you guys can see that duochrome awesomeness that's in here. So yeah, that is Zoya Ski. And we're making our way. So right around this time at the end of the month, I received my purchase of the Zoya exchange sale, and what you know, the ones I purchased from that sale. And so I was really excited to wear some of these polishes. So the first one that I wore was Glaze. And Glaze is the last of the scattered holographics, and this is really beautiful. It's like a cranberry red. Again, it's got that scattered holographic in it. This definitely is not my favorite out of the bunch. There's a couple of these. I would say this one, I would say Peyton, and I feel like there's one more. I want to say maybe Storm. I haven't worn Storm in a while, so maybe I'll hold off. But definitely this one and Peyton. The scattered holographic in these don't show up as well on the nail as the other ones do. So to me, these end up looking more of like a jelly sandwich. type look than it does, because I don't, once these are on your nail, unless you're in direct sunlight, the glitter, the scattered holographic in this isn't super apparent on your nail, and the way that it lays in the base, like it almost looks like a jelly sandwich, which is nice. I still enjoyed this polish, but I just feel like the finish on this one in Peyton, and maybe it's just because they're darker shades, I still like them. They're definitely not my favorite, because like I said, I really want that scattered holographic to show up. So yeah, I definitely enjoyed this. I think it's a nice combination with the red and the glitter, but I just feel like the finish on this one is slightly different than the other one. So and also the brush I got on this is wonky. It's like, like I was trying to paint my nail, like I don't know if you can see how it leans. I was having a really hard time painting my nails with this brush. It was like all wonky. So, but yeah, I thought I did like this. I just don't think it's my favorite out of the scattered holographics. So that is Blaze. And then the other one that I wore is Mason. And Mason, like I said in my haul video, this was a total impulse purchase. And it's a beautiful, it almost has like a duochromeness to it. It's a royal purple, but it's got a magenta shimmer flash that's in here, and also it's kind of duochromy, so like on the sides of the bottle you get a little bit of a gold, and there's a magenta flash that's in here, but there's also some larger magenta glitter. I don't want to say they're glitters, but they're definitely larger than the flash that's in here. The flash is like a micro shimmer, and I'd say there's definitely like some smaller glitter pieces that are in here. And so if you saw that video, you'll see that this polish is really close to another polish I already have in my collection, which is Haven. They're slightly different finishes. Haven is a complete metallic, whereas this is kind of a, like I said, it's kind of a duochrome, but when you look at them on the nail, they're pretty close. This one just appears slightly, I mean, this one obviously with that magenta shimmer, it looks a little bit brighter on the nail, but I think ultimately I feel like they're super close. I don't know if I can warrant having them both in my collection, so I think I might wear this one more time. And also the formula on this is not really that great. It's a little thin, so you have to do 3 coats of this, and it's a weird, I don't know if I love the larger pieces, and I don't know if you're gonna be able to catch them in this lighting, but there's some larger pieces of glitter in here, and I don't know, like I don't really know why. So like I enjoy the micro shimmer that's in here, but those larger pieces, you can see them on the nail, but I don't know. So I'm kind of on the fence about this. I don't know if I want to like it, because I think it's an interesting color and shade. But like I said, I have a color that's super close, and the color that's super close, Haven, is like one of my favorite polishes. So I feel like when I want something, I'm going to pull Haven out more than I'm going to pull this out. But I probably will give this one more shot, I think, before I decide if I want to declutter it or not. So yeah, it's... I don't know. I want to like this polish more than I did, but it just, with the runny formula and the, you know, being it so close to my other polish, I'm just gonna, I don't know. We're on the fence about that. All right, and then 2 more polishes. So, in addition to the Zoyas that I picked up, I also grabbed a couple polishes from Live Love Polish, which I also featured in a, did I feature that? I don't know I think I did. Anyway, I picked up 2 Lacquer Lust polishes. I had seen these on Live Love Polish, and I had debated whether or not I wanted them. I really love thermals, and so I hadn't tried Lacquer Lust before, and I wanted to try them out. So I had bought 2. So the one that I tried this month was Frozen Hot Chocolate. And this is really, really pretty. Again, I don't know how many times I can say gorgeous and really pretty in a video, but this is a thermal polish. Again, this transitions from a creamy nude polish, and it transitions to a darker brown when it's cold, and it also has a micro, like a holographic shimmer glitter in here. Thought this was really pretty. The transition, the thermal on this is not as dramatic as like my Femme Fatales. You can definitely see, obviously, I mean, it definitely shifts, but I think the color difference isn't as apparent as the Femme Fatales. Like, it's a little bit more subdued, which I think some people would like more than others. And the holographic is nice. It doesn't really show up super well on the nail unless you're like in direct sunlight. Other than that, it just kind of looks like a silver, you know, silver flaky type effect. But I did enjoy this, and the formula I'm still on the fence about. This and the other one that I got, the formulas are a little weird. They're not terrible by any means, but they're almost like a gluey type consistency. So they weren't terrible, they were a little runny. So whenever you put it on the nails, it had a tendency to want to pool around the sides and not in the center of your nail. So you had to kind of smooth it out. Definitely couldn't do thick coats, you had to do thin coats. So it's 3 to get opaque. And it just has this weird gluey consistency. Like I explained in another video, I would pull it up to, you know, the tip of my nail, but it would never cover the tip of my nail. It would always just kind of like settle back. So it was weird. It definitely wasn't terrible, but it's definitely a weird consistency, something I've never come across before. But I did enjoy these polishes. I just don't think they're my favorite. They're my favorite thermals. I think I still like the Femme Fatales, but I still think these were nice. So again, that is Frozen Hot Chocolate. And then the last one I wore this month is Zoya's Wyatt. And I love this shade. I can't believe I waited so long to purchase this. So this is a British racing green, so it's got a little bit of blue to it, so it's not going to be your typical kind of hunter green shade that you see in the fall time. And I thought this was so beautiful. I really enjoyed this. I think this was a perfect fall shade, perfect way to end the month. And I like this so much I wore this for like 2 or 3 days, which for me is pretty crazy. All right, sorry, my camera cut off, so I don't know how much of that I was able to catch, but yeah, Zoya's Wyatt, just something about it. I think it's just very classy, very sophisticated. I think it's a beautiful kind of, I almost want to say it's almost like a neutral nail, which is weird. Like, it's a green, I get that, but something about it, like it's just very subdued on the nail. It's not like a crazy, you know, green shade. I think just something about it just looks very clean and classy and sophisticated. So I really enjoyed this polish. I'm surprised I waited so long to get it. So that's Wyatt. And that's it. So thanks so much for watching, guys. I hope you guys enjoyed this. I hope you got some ideas for fall. Like I said, I feel like this was kind of all over the place. I felt like I threw in a couple fall shades. But for the most part, I just wore kind of like, I don't know, all like I feel like a lot of these weren't really seasonal. I feel like a lot of these you could wear any time of year. But yeah, I think I only had one dud. I feel like if I had to pick a favorite out of the month, if I had to pick a favorite, I think Zoya's Wyatt is my favorite for the month. But these were all great polishes. Except for the one Opie polish, I think I enjoyed most of these. I'd say Mason was kind of meh. But other than that, I think I had a pretty decent month. So how were your polishes this month? Any surprises? Did you guys bust anything out? I had contemplated, I know a lot of people for October are doing the untried ABCs tag video, or ABC challenge or whatever. I contemplated doing that, but I think I didn't start at the beginning of the month. And I think when I thought about doing it, it was maybe like Wednesday or Thursday last week, which I think was, they were already on the letter C, and so I was like, oh, maybe I'll do it. And then I started going through my collection, and I realized that I don't have a lot of polishes that I haven't tried. I try to keep, you know, I have a large amount of polish, but I try for the most part to keep a collection that is usable, if that makes sense. Like, I don't keep polishes just to keep them. I try and use all of the polishes that I have. So I realized that I don't have a whole lot of polishes in there that I haven't tried. And the ones that I did see that I hadn't tried are not any that are, you know, I don't think I have enough to do like the alphabet. So I contemplated doing that challenge for maybe like a couple hours, and then I realized I don't think I have enough polishes to do that. So I don't know how next month's gonna go. I feel like we are gonna be in some hot weather for like another couple weeks. So I'm hoping the cool weather is going to come in so I can start wearing some more fall shades, because I'm definitely looking at these fall shades on my polish rack and I'm like, I want to wear them, but I just haven't been in the mood. I haven't been in the mood yet. So again, thanks for watching, guys. I hope you guys are having a great day. Bye.